Hi, I'm Beatrice Lovato.
And I'm Delia Leifeld.
Welcome to Exchange of Lives,
the podcast where we talk about our 7-year-long exchange.
So for our last episode, we were going to talk about, when you actually mastered a language and you spend so much time in the culture, you kind of know stuff about the language itself that you wouldn't know if you're just studying it in school. So we're going to talk about all those expressions that maybe are actually you can really translate into the other language, all those words that you wish you had in your own language because they express, they have a specific meaning that you can really translate into the other language. And maybe all those words or, expressions, idioms that are maybe hard to say for a foreigner, and all those things that, about the language. So can you think of anything in Italian that you studied, that you learned, and you said, oh, I wish we had that in English?
Yeah. Well, I know that one word, because I was thinking about this last week, less so a phrase and more one word. I was talking on the phone and I was talking about something and I wanted to use the word in Italian un casino to kind of explain a mess or creating a fuss or something like that. But it brings a little more meaning. It's a little more compact and a little more dramatic in a good way, which I like. Like if you say oh, I just don't want to make a mess, that's just kind of very flippant and easy. But when you say casino in Italian, it's kind of just it's a thing, it's this big thing, but you can use it casually. And I like that a lot. I was talking about something that was happening with some classmates of mine to my mom on the phone, and I was and it was just ended up being this whole casino, and I didn't know what to say else because it just fits so well. And I really wish we had an equivalent like that in English that packed the same punch. How about you?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you wish in
I do,
or in Italian?
Because as you said, that's also the thing. When you speak the other language for a long time, then it happens that when you're speaking your own language, to your parents, to your friends, there are actually some words that you want to use in the other language because in your mind they're just so mixed up. So in my case, I think I really wish we had the word actually. I love the word actually. I think I use it too much. But it's so first of all, I don't think there really is a translation because what would you say? Attualmente? No. It's not because attualmente is I think it's a false friend because it means right now, nowadays. So actually,
what if you said, what about in realtà?
Maybe we would say in realtà, yeah. But that's not that. That's what I was talking about. It doesn't really have the same meaning. Actually is just so when you say, well, actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. And then there are some words that, on the other hand, I try to avoid because they're just so, whenever I had to say them, they just stress me out. They make me nervous because I know I don't really know how to, how to say them properly. Well, when I see, I use actually all the time.
Yeah.
When I was learning English in high school, the word literature was impossible to say. Now I feel like I'm getting better, but still, sometimes I'm
dormitory. Yeah,
And
it
then
is
do you
kind of
remember?
garbly.
Actually, you pointed that out. Like you made me notice that the way I said mountain was not
Yes.
right. Because I used to
But I
say,
think
what
that
did I
was just
used to
like a
say?
beautiful way of your like accent. It was just a beautiful like difference in accent.
But what did I used to say? Do you remember?
You'd say like mountain.
Mountain. Yeah, and then you were like, it's a mountain.
Mountain, yeah. I also feel like maybe I think it's funny to think about how like if I tell you a pronunciation of something in English, I'm probably telling it to you in a Chicago accent, you know? So like you might have some words that you say where you have that Chicago accent. I think that's a cool thought that you can like pick that up along the way.
Oh, that's so cool. Actually, the other day I have a fellowship at a radio station, right? And sometimes I have to voice what I write for air. And
Yeah.
I was asking my editor, I was double checking a pronunciation before I went to voice whatever I had to voice. And he actually said that like I wasn't sure about a word, and I tried to say it, and he was like, "Whoa, you sound like you come from Chicago." And I'm like,
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that was crazy.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you remember what word it was?
I don't remember. I think it was just like it was like a regular word. It was nothing like weird. It was just,
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was fun. It was funny when he said that. I was
love
like,
that.
yeah.
I have some words that I also try to avoid. I don't say, so in Italian, theory, the word theory is teoria. But even then I had to really just kind of take a moment, because if I'm speaking somewhat fast, I don't speak very fast Italian, but if I'm speaking at a regular pace, I always have to take a breath, because it always kind of becomes like teoria, like I can't even do it. And I remember once I was giving a presentation about the Memoriale Bolognesi, this historic document in Bologna that was like this register from the notaries, and they'd copied along the margins all of these poems to kind of preserve the space and stuff. And I remember I was doing this presentation that was 20 minutes, and it was just me alone talking about this very historic thing. And I used the word probably 3 or 4 times, and I was already really nervous, and I was just sitting there. So when I was nervous, like your mouth feels weird and you can't say the words right. And I remember messing up teoria every single time. And afterwards I was just like, that's my word, I can't say it. And then I also, like, when I speak English, I say a lot, like, cool. I think that's very, like, colloquial, just like, oh, super cool. Or someone's like, hey, do you want to go do this? And you're like, yeah, cool, sounds good. Like, very colloquial, very casually. That maybe, would you say, like, the equivalent would be like, yeah, va bene. Like, very, like, sounds good. Kind of a thing.
mean, but I think that's another thing that you can really translate, because va bene is not really cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, va
Yeah.
bene is like, that's fine. Like, you know, it's not really, you're not too excited about it. Like, you're just,
Yeah.
sure. So I feel
Yeah.
like cool is another example of like things that you don't really have in
Yeah.
Italian. I can't
And
really
even
think
the ones
of
that you do have, you have like, oh, que figata, or oh, fico, but then that you get, it's very dangerous, because there's a lot of very close words that you maybe don't want to be saying in that moment that are very related. And I get really nervous about that. Oh, another one that I just thought of, a great one in Italian that I love is ci sta. Like, very useful. I feel like it would, I've tried this many times to try to figure out what the equivalent would be in English, but maybe like it is what it is, or like that works, or like,
Yeah, I don't know. Because I think that's another thing, like, maybe that English doesn't have. Because I feel like chista is like, yeah, I mean, chista. Like, like you can really.
Yeah, I agree. But it's very useful. Like, it's so useful, but there's not an
And
easy
actually,
translation.
I have one that I know that you like. The word, it's not even a word, it's bo.
So good. So good.
Like, that's so good. Like, sometimes, when I'm not too like, I'm thinking about something else and people ask me questions and I just don't know, like, I don't know what to say. It just comes out. It's just like, bo. And they're like, what? And like, I don't know. Because it's so...
Yeah. It's so I used it yesterday and I was thinking of you guys because you guys had taught me to this when I was in Verona, and it's especially I feel like at the beginning when I was very new at learning Italian, it was very useful because you could just be like, boop, I don't know. It was just very like, I used it a lot more than, and it's also just a quick way to just be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And then there are some, like, expressions that are kind of weird, like, to me. I think, like, the expression, like, the most American expression, like, the American expression par excellence is, like, what's up? But at the same time, every single time, I remember when I was in Ocean City, Maryland, I would go to work and I would say, hi, like, good morning. And, like, my coworkers would go, what's up? And I'm like, I didn't know what, still now, I don't know what to say. I remember saying this to your mom, and your mom helped me, like, phrase a sentence, like, a ready-made sentence that I could always use, like, in that case. And she told me to say, oh, just say, not too much. What's up with you? And that's what I always do.
I love it. No, that works perfectly. Because it is it's very open-ended and very, like, it's a very, like, it's a very indirect way to ask, how are you? And we're just like, what's going on? But it's also when you, like, walk into a room and someone's like, what's up? It's like, I can't get into everything that's going on right now, so just like, not much, how about you?
That's what I mean, like, what are you supposed to say? Like, it's literally, it's morning, I just came to work, like, I just woke up, I just had breakfast, I just had my coffee, like, what do you think is going on? Like, nothing.
Nothing, there's nothing to report. No, this is true. I was also thinking of some phrases that we have that are, like, very similar, or, like, you just change a little, but they have the same thing. Like, in English, we have the phrase, like, killing two birds with one stone. But in Italian, you'd say, like, due uccelli con una fava, like, two birds with a bean, with a fava.
Yeah.
And the meaning would be the same, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and then a phrase that I use a lot in English is the grass is always greener.
But
in Italian it's longer, right? You'd say, like, l'erba è sempre più verde
di quella del vicino.
What is it?
Di quella del vicino. So grass, like, your neighbor's grass looks always greener than your own grass. Something like that.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that they're, like, we're talking about the same thing, but we say them differently.
Yeah. And then I think there's another expression that's really confusing. It's very similar. Like, I remember when I was working in Ocean City and I was, like, I was just doing, like, customer assistance. So I had to check out people, and I would have to ask if they wanted to do, like, a donation, like, to round up their total and donate that to, like, a hospital. And sometimes people would say, that's fine, or that's okay. And that could mean, like, yes and no. And you're like, it's literally, you're saying, like, basically the same, like, to me, you're saying the same thing, because that's fine and that's okay. it's just like the same. But no, because if you're saying that's okay, that means no. If you say that's fine, then it means yes. And it was so, like, it took me like a while to figure that out. I remember like the first times that people were like, that's okay. And I was like, so do you want to round up or no? And they were like, no.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That would be, because I mean, in theory, they're both positive. Like, that's okay. Yeah, of course.
All right. So I think on that note, that was all we had for you today.
We hope you enjoyed.
And we'll see you next time.